Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Well, what have we here?
It's a podcast.
Fine.
And what excitement we have today.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
That's dark. That's white. That's dark. My puppet head has all white hair.
I want it to last.
There's only
for a
one
while.
person who looks good with the puppet.
I know.
He's in the bottom part of and he's the guy that put it all together.
He's the guy that
It's-
loves showing the
It's a
puppets.
conspiracy. It's a
It's also
giant
the guy
conspiracy.
that's got Muppet hair normally.
Yeah, I guess
think
you
it's
do
the
fall
hair.
into it pretty easy because of the.
Yeah, that's right. You have Muppet hair, but your hair is easy to duplicate.
Yes.
Josh, the funniest line Josh had for me when he was doing our AI puppets over the weekend was the AI doesn't like me.
No.
But how does the hair, is there a way of changing the hair?
I'll work on it.
On my
like two-toned
puppet?
hair.
Yeah, there is.
I think,
There is.
can we go back? Can we get a picture of the puppets again up so we can see? All
Not that one. This one.
There he
there's-
is.
All right, first of all, I don't have a full beard.
Right. Well, remember, we first had the puppet without a beard, and you looked odd.
I looked very odd because the facial hair, if you got rid of just the sides, that might be a better thing. Then I have snow white hair all over there is not a touch of dark color in my.
Well,
that's it. And then
to be fair, Mike, one of the best things you can do in this business is to plan ahead. And so he's planned your image ahead for 10
it's
years.
going. Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
losing it. I'm losing. Look, I'm losing it. Look,
No,
that's why I cut it
You're
short
you've never
now.
been better.
No, don't shut up. I Jesus.
Don't tell me to
Christ.
shut up for that.
I've never been better.
Kind words.
No, you're full of crap. That's
No.
dark hair. That's dark. It's thinner, but it's dark. Look at it. That's dark. And the puppet has white hair. And look at who had the perfect, doesn't have old man mouth because his mouth is closed,
Right.
has the perfect faux hawk.
Yeah.
Well,
And you.
Well, Mike, you have some hair, which is nice.
Did
I
you-
look like I'm going
well,
through
you
some
don't
sort
have
of
any
program.
hair in your picture right here.
No, but I've got a stubble of
head
beard.
Your head is shaved.
Yes, but what about my beard? There's
Well,
no evidence. And what about my eyebrows? Can you bring the picture up again, John?
well, sure.
Thanks.
You know, the problem is there are no photos of the three of us together. So the AI had to go off a screenshot of the show.
Well,
I
that
just-
doesn't
That's
change
why.
anything.
That's why Rob's got the big headphones.
I think that I look like I've been very brave through treatment.
You do have eyebrows. Aren't those eyebrows right
I
above
think
your
those just
eyeballs?
might be just the top of my eyes.
And I think the Love Boat puppets were better.
I hate those worst.
Oh, no.
I look at that. Well, Rob doesn't have a beatnik beard,
A little bit.
and his head is deformed.
Yeah, it is pointed. But imagine how easy it would be to put a hat on with your head shaped.
I like the
that.
bags, though. At least that's accurate. The bags, but
I
no,
don't
I don't have white eyebrows. Look at my
No.
eyebrows; they're dark.
But look how
Right.
much better the beard looks.
The beard,
That's dead
no,
on.
the color of the. Well, see, I do have a white beard now.
Mm-hmm.
It's all white,
Yeah.
but
Well, I mean, also, Mike, it's a puppet. You can't
Right.
no,
get
I would.
subtleties of stuff with a
I know,
puppet.
I know, but I can at least. Hair color is not a subtlety.
And also,
And you don't
Mike,
have
it's-
any hair, so you don't. It's fine. You don't have any hair.
I know.
What
I
did you
know.
want? Fake hair?
No, I don't want hair on my head. I want hair on my face.
You hardly have any hair on your face this
Hey,
morning.
shave.
You
Oh,
haven't
come
grown
and
it out.
come and touch my face and feel the hair. You'll see.
You
that
didn't
it's there.
stay with the dark beard color.
No, I trimmed my beard and I will recolor. I was so pleased with it that I didn't know how it was going to take to short hair. So I grew
So
my hair
full of-
out
he
for
is
the
so
first
full
process.
of crap, isn't
What?
he?
What are you saying?
I was so pleased with it that I shaved it all off.
No, because I didn't know how it was going to take to short hair. So I grew my beard for like an additional week and a half, 2 weeks before I applied.
Well, how do
it.
you want your puppet? Facial hair or not facial hair?
I want actually what I'd like, if we're taking requests, and I guess there are no bad ideas, I'd like to go with the modern puppet of Josh, the one that's on the open, the boat puppet of you, Mike, because that was better. And then
No.
me, I would,
No.
and then I would just like to be a picture of me with the puppets. So it looked like perhaps I was the puppeteer.
The
A
new
photograph.
puppets that Josh did are better than the boat puppet.
I think your boat puppet is the apex of your puppet.
Yeah, I think the boat puppet's better.
I think
Of you. I don't like
think-
my boat puppet.
I think I'm invoking my status on the show
Ban
to
on
at
puppets?
least request that my puppet. I don't mind the newer puppet. If this is trimmed so it's skin and the hair is darker and the eyebrows are darker, that's the only change I need to do.
I will work on your puppet.
Oh God,
We will
bless
get you a new puppet.
That's so nice that you don't have to do that.
You know,
but
it'd be
that's very
great.
nice.
Joe
It would
Ann's
be
is going
great.
out of business. We can get all the felt we need.
Get all the felt you want. Exactly. And hair.
That's right. At Jimmy's, when we go to Jimmy's in May, it will be a puppet show.
Can't wait.
It's about
wait.
time.
Right, right. Welcome. Oh, by the way, welcome everyone. Happy Monday from the Mike O'Mara Show. How you doing?
Hey, how are you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing, guys?
Hey, you want a picture with the face?
So John Lovett's clip, you know. And I want to give a shout out to my friend John Harris, retired
Oh,
police
how is he?
officer from Fairfax County. He put a great post up just live streaming with his dogs going to the dump. He is Mr. America, as far as he is Americana, God and country. The man is legit. He
Good guy.
owns it. He's my man. I love John Harris.
Do you wish you
so
had
a
a-
shout out up in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I just smiled. I said to Kyle, I'm looking at his like rambling 12-minute live stream, and I said, he's the real deal, and he is. He's the real deal. That's what he's all about. He's kind of a good old boy.
Yeah.
And what a motorcycle officer he was. You want to talk about skills?
Oh,
First
he
of
was
all,
the one that could do like the tight circle at like 1 mile an hour.
And
God,
he's
it's
so
so
like
cool.
and he's 6'4". So
Yeah.
it looks like he's riding a mini bike when he's on his electric glide. So it's just he's a good guy.
Would you like to have a John Harris puppet?
You know, is there anybody on this show that goes to the callback too early other than Rob Spiewak?
It's not even a callback. It was still a topic.
No,
Callback
what?
would be
No,
like in
we
the
had
second
moved off
segment.
of it.
No,
we had
it's
moved
st-
off the
Were you
topic.
not still thinking about the
Save-
puppets?
No, I was not.
I
Save the
think you were.
puppet reference for the third segment.
The
That would-
third act.
That's what a professional broadcaster would do.
Well,
he would
someday
wait-
I'll read the book.
He would wait to the third. But when you want to do a callback, a cheap callback early on, when
Don't
we've
first
moved
of all,
off
don't
it,
do value the callback.
It's a cheap callback.
It's not cheap. It's the most expensive callback we've
No,
had
no, it's
ever.
a cheap. It's a cheap
Ever.
joke. It's a cheap
No,
joke.
No, it's great. It's fantastic, and it was worth it because of the.
You know
face
what's
you
also
made.
cheap? As I attempt to segue here, my scratch remover from Temu. Is it Temu or Temu?
Let's figure and make a decision because I've heard it both ways. I like Temu.
I like Temu also.
Okay.
It's
And
I go with
natural to
Temu.
say Temu. Well,
Right.
then we've agreed. It's Temu. When you order off of Temu, I think it should warn everyone that don't expect necessarily to get your products post haste.
No, it's very
Because
slow. Very slow.
I got a small package, a small little bag over the weekend that contained something, and I had no idea what it was. You know, we have Simpler, which is a sponsor of ours, which is beard coloring. The product I got was Color Easy, and it had absolutely no instructions in it. It had Color Easy on the tube. And
Was it not pronounced Colo Reezy?
It's Color Easy.
Color
and
Easy.
I had to go online and put it into a search engine to determine what it was, and it said it's a car scratch fixer. That's what it. Now, why or when? And I don't doubt that I ordered it. When this happened, I have no idea because I'd forgotten about it, and I'm sure I didn't.
I had
pay.
the same thing happen to me this weekend, Mike. It's so funny you bring it up. I ordered 2 for my Elvis shelf. I ordered 2 Elvis.
Oh, he broke up. Did he freeze on you, John?
He did freeze on me.
Oh, what a
I
shame.
thought
Am
it
I
was me.
back?
You're back.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So getting
got-
back to my story, I
I'm commiserating with you.
but we lost your connection. So,
So it happened to me this weekend that
well, I'm telling my story about what.
well, you'd
what
reached the
happened.
stopping point, and I was
No, I
was
hadn't.
going-
I hadn't finished the story. I have a visual aid too.
Oh,
Would you
then
like to
go.
see- would you like to see my my tube of
Yeah.
Color
show us,
Easy?
Show
All
us your
right, here we go.
tube. Hey, you know what's nice? They printed the directions right on it.
There it is, ladies and
Can
gentlemen.
you throw that into Google Translate? It's just all Asian characters.
Well, it's obviously Chinese, I think.
Well, I mean, it could be any of those exotic languages.
Absolutely. I don't
Yeah.
want to commit to the fact because I don't write Chinese.
No,
But,
no.
That's it. So I'm not
So,
sure.
and how do you remember how much you paid for the 1.5 grams?
I have no
of it?
memory of even buying it. So I don't know. But I took it out to there's a little yes, go ahead.
This is different than the golf club scratch remover.
That's coming from Croatia.
Okay, so this is a different scratch remover.
Yeah, and the Croatian scratch remover was not a Temu product.
That sounds like
Gotcha.
like a wrestling guy. Say,
Ladies
and gentlemen, the Croatian scratch remover.
I kill you. I kill you.
Are you the Croatian scratch remover?
So I got this stuff and I went out because I'm a total rube.
Yeah.
And I put it on this little scratch that I have where my car trunk gate opens up and it hits the top of the garage door.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's a little dent. Not a dent, but it's a little chip out. And it's,
Yeah.
I mean, this is heavy duty paint that it's got, and it won't do a damn thing. It's
Sure.
It's for surface scratches, which you can probably buff out with a magic eraser.
Right.
The Croatian golf club scratch remover seems to be on my brain. I figured out what the Chinese think of us. I know, and they are correct, that Americans will buy anything.
Sure.
They will buy anything because if you go to Temu, it's just crap.
Yeah.
It's crap that nobody really needs,
That's-
but people will get it.
And it's all like $4.
Yeah.
It's very reasonable, but it's no good. That's the problem. I think maybe
Wait a minute, but Josh got
No.
a fanny pack that he
Oh
liked.
yeah, the
that
fashion
he
bag.
thought was
Well,
bad.
no, I think Temu is good for little junk that you don't want to spend much money on. Like I am about to purchase power adapters for like European travel. Now that might cause a fire issue,
but not your
but
house.
I don't want to spend money on the little converter.
You are someone who has worked around electronics
Yes.
all of your career,
And
That's
I'm
what you've
realizing the
done.
issue as I say it out loud.
Yeah.
and that I mean, wouldn't you be concerned about a reliability issue? Huh? Wouldn't you think that might be a problem with that?
Perhaps I'm rethinking my strategy right now.
What do you think the chances are that you're going to get a package from Japan and it's going to be like a coat hanger and 2 sets of alligator clips? That's all they've got for your power adaptation.
It gives you a terrible electrical shock. And now we can move on to your thing that you hijacked my initial story with. What did you get for your Elvis shelf?
Yeah, it's I got 2 Elvis keychains. They looked on the ad like they were Lego. They were very neat. There was a red jumpsuit and a white jumpsuit Elvis. I couldn't decide, so I
bet
bought
that'll
both.
be perfect. That's the kind of crap that's right in the middle of their wheelhouse, right?
It came unassembled with no instructions. It's just pieces of
and it's
Elvis.
a knockoff Lego.
It is. It's exactly what it is. There's no instructions.
I got Chinese Legos one time
Did
with
they
no
give you
instructions.
give you cancer?
Well, you just,
No, but I worry about. I put this on and then I washed my hands after because I have
Yeah.
no idea what kind of chemicals are in there. You know,
It's mysterious, and they've got different laws, Mike.
that's what I hear.
They could have like red M&Ms, anything.
Yeah, back in the day when I was growing over there, he said the air quality was in Beijing was absolutely horrific. That the smog was terrible. Are you opening that right now?
I wanted to show you, Mike.
All right. Does it have anything resembling?
That's Elvis's hair.
Okay.
It's
All
a
right, I
little.
get it.
And then let's
All
see.
right.
Here's the.
is it simple enough that it doesn't need instructions? Or do you have a pile of pieces now that you don't know how to put together?
I could probably figure it out, but I was really hoping it would be one piece. Here are the jumpsuit stickers for how you make the eagle jumpsuit.
So it's so cheap that you thought it was assembled, and no word on the website that this was not assembled, correct?
No, Mike, and it's barely a website.
And no instructions on how
Elvis's
to.
head,
Is
but
there-
there's no
is there-
face
no
on
face?
it. There's
You have
no
a face
face. Maybe
sticker?
there's a sticker for his face.
Is
There
see-
is.
all right.
You know what?
Maybe
Look,
you could do that. Maybe
Look
you
at
could at
the-
least.
very top. It's
Oh, the very top. Put Elvis's face on his head.
okay. Here we
At
go.
least you can do that. You can
Yeah, I
do that.
can.
It doesn't matter where.
And then I can have a beautiful piece of Elvis.
Put his face, put his sticker on his face, and then put the hair on it, and you'll have Elvis's real head.
Do you know what's so great?
You don't need the body.
These, like at Graceland, where you just go and see Elvis's head.
Right.
The stickers
Are
aren't
you
even,
doing it?
Mike, would you listen? Mouth?
God,
The stickers-
I'm mouth. Go ahead. What
The
stickers?
stickers
what?
are not perforated, so I have to cut it out. Give me a second.
So they don't
No.
just like peel off.
No, it's like a sheet that you have to.
Because it's cheaper to do.
Yeah, it
that
is cheaper
way,
to do that. So I'm
My
cutting
God.
out Elvis's face.
Elvis has face. Elvis has face. Elvis has
Now,
face.
Trip is asking in the chat, do you have to soak those stickers in water? Are they not adhesive?
You know, it's great. If there were instructions, it would tell me that. I don't know.
Maybe
I
it's
think
not
they're
an actual
self-adhesive.
sticker.
You know what? They might be water because it's not peeling.
That is so beyond cheap.
You know what? I think the total investment for both keychains was under $6, but I'm so pissed.
Under $6.
Yeah, for 2 keychains, that's not bad.
No, come on.
At this point, grab a Sharpie and just draw little eyeballs on there.
Well, I'm thinking about how I have to put all these eagles on his jumpsuit. I'll
That's
be here a
interesting
week.
that Trip knew about the soaking in water for the for the
No.
Why is that
stickers.
interesting?
That's just funny.
I would have
That is
sat there just staring at that
funny.
paper.
I love that. Oh my god.
Hold it. I think we're making progress on Elvis's face.
Hey Mike, come on the show with your sunscreen still on you. My God. that's
Oh, is
awesome.
your face oily?
Yeah, I just noticed that. My lotion, my face lotion in the morning.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
I'm noticing my Ed Turney head today a little bit more
Oh,
than
wait,
normal.
Mike. I've
Yes,
got
is it
good
working?
news. It's working.
All right, let's take a peek.
And there are no hands better suited to doing Legos than my stupid hands. Here we go, Mike.
Well,
Ta-da. Ready?
he's doing the construction right now.
We have a head.
That is really uncanny, isn't it?
So once you got it cut out, were you able to peel it?
Yes, but I had to
Okay,
use
so
non-existent
at least
fingernails
it's not
to
that
do
cheap
it.
that you have to soak it in water.
Well,
That's
yeah, but
too
I mean, it
funny.
is cheap enough that
That's the most important part is Elvis's head.
no, the most important part is the cape.
The cape, does it have a cape?
I think it has a paper cape.
Like a sticker cape?
I'm looking right now. Hold on. Oh, the pieces are
All
everywhere.
right, forget it. Don't worry about it. It's
Oh, I
fine.
found the cape. I found
It's
it.
fine. All right, very good.
And the cape will have
Is
an
it a
eagle
paper
on it
cape?
too. It is. It is a paper cape.
This
which is-
isn't taking too long to see this. Let me see. All right. This is
I lost the
effectively
cape.
stuffed. Okay, Rob. All right, that's fine. You know,
Mike, did I disappoint you?
no, not at all.
No,
Thank you.
Timo
Oh.
has.
It was right here the whole time. Elvis's cape.
That paper or fabric?
I think it's heavy paper.
Tear it to see.
No, I spent $6 on this. I've already made his head.
Yeah. So
I've
so,
invested.
So anyway, we all had our little experiences, and I haven't gotten an update on my, my Croatian golf club cleaner.
I will say the translation headphones I got from Temu, very good.
No, what are they?
There, where Josh will
They're-
put headphones in his ears, and he will get translations on the fly from someone speaking to him. Am I right about
Yeah,
that?
And
a
they
quick
work?
test. A quick test at home seems like it works.
How did you test it? I'm fascinated to know how you tested it.
Well, Kelly is learning French for our trip, so I had her say some words, and it translated it in my head.
So if you go to, for example, you
Or in my
go to
ears.
a hotel check-in where
Yes.
they speak French, and you'll be able to listen to it, and so, but it doesn't go the other way where you will
No.
be.
It's I haven't tried it yet,
So
but it
you won't be
says
able to
if
respond.
it says if I give the other person one earbud and I have one earbud, it'll go back and forth
Really?
and translate both sides.
Really?
Yeah, so I haven't
Did
been
you-
able to give it a full test of that yet.
So did you put an earbud in Kelly's ear and
I
then say
haven't yet.
something in English?
I have
So
not
you
yet.
think there's a chance these
There's a
will
chance
work?
this thing's decent.
I'd love
Wow.
to take a look at them.
I have used. They're not in here,
Okay.
but
All right.
I'll bring them tomorrow.
That would be the first step in getting our show international.
Right. Yeah, I
If we
can
could
now
get
edit
those
the
hooked
Spanish
up.
version.
Yeah. Mhm. Oh, do they only do French? Is there not a dial where you could like put in
No,
German
you
if
choose,
you wanted?
you choose any language you want.
So they're a dedicated language that. And how much did those set you back?
Oh, a whole $11.
$11.
And I'll tell you what, the reason I haven't listened to the translation is I've been using them as Bluetooth headphones, and they sound great.
Really? So
Yeah.
I mean, this might really. I want to know.
It's not a bad purchase.
I mean, that would be. But then it's an earbud, correct?
Hey, bud.
Hold on.
Let me go grab them, and I'll show you. What
Well,
I
if it's
like
an-
what
yeah.
I like about them is they go around my ear and set on the outside. They're like
Yeah,
that
because
bone
if you're
conductor.
asking like someone, a waiter, to shove
Yeah.
one of your
They don't
earbuds.
go, no,
in
they
his-
don't go in the ear. They sit on the outside.
Oh, but
Okay.
French waiters
All
will
right, go
put
get
them
them.
in.
Go
They'll
get them.
put them in.
I think we need to see what these are. But it seems if the technology for $11, he's so tall. It's
He
the
is tall.
technology for that type of thing. And are you putting together your puppet right now?
Mike, I made a bad discovery while you were talking about this. I put the hair on the head and the face is upside down. So now instead of having like a big Elvis pompadour, if I put his eyes up, he looks like he's Amish and it's a big beard because I put the face on
Can't you
upside
just
down.
pull off the?
I will, but that's much too involved.
Oh,
for
but
right
it's
now.
the sticker that you screwed.
Yeah, the sticker I screwed up. So
You put it on.
I put the face on upside
You were
down.
rushing to get it.
I was,
It's
and-
difficult for you to do manual labor under
Mike,
pressure.
everything
I
for me
understand
is
that.
difficult. And
No,
I just found
it's
out
not. No,
I found
you're
out that if
quick
you
with
want to
it.
attach the keychain to Elvis, you have to put a small screw in his head.
So now it's an upside down Elvis head. Why don't you screw? Can you do that on camera? Screw that into his head.
No,
and you'll be able to see Rob's hands.
Or do you need to
too,
drill a
for
hole
this.
first?
I might have to. I'm going to have to wait, Mike, because this whole face thing has got me thrown.
Okay.
I mean, I can't have Elvis with an upside down face.
All right. You have to drill the hole.
It might be smart. It would have to be a mighty
what is
small
what
bit.
is underneath the head, which is now upside down? Can I see that piece?
I guess it's a body piece of some sort. It's probably this. Hold on, because this has armholes as well. So let me put the head on that with the upside down face. Let's see if it
Can we
fits.
see the upside down face again? please?
Yes, of course. I'll put you the upside down face with the trunk of Elvis's body.
All right. There it is.
It's so sad.
Now, what's interesting is those are not similar connectors, like the
Mike,
hair and the
I would
body.
think that the head would be, either side, but one is a hole and one is a peg, and I
It's
chose the
wonderful
wrong
toy.
side up.
All right, well, put them away now because you're a little obsessive.
I am
compulsive.
distracted, and
put
I'm
them off
sorry,
to the
Elvis,
side.
wherever you are, that your face is upside down.
Would you order it again?
Well, now that I know which side the face goes up, absolutely. You live, you learn. The next one's going to be perfect.
And it's all stuff that is generated for our interests, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
all-
very much so. If you
have
go
you
there,
gotten the one where they say where you spin a wheel to get
you
a
can't even
$300
you
credit?
can't
You
even
have
get
to
into
do
the
that.
site without spinning the wheel.
So you get a $300 credit, and then if you add one, what is that about? Because does it really give you?
It doesn't
I moved
really.
off the website before
did
I
you
could find out.
did you hold it, Mike? Did you go to the next level? Did you download the app?
No, I did not.
Oh, I've downloaded the app.
Oh, see, and my app says I have $110 in credit,
So
but I can't seem
but I
to
don't
make
think
that
that's
work.
real.
Yes.
So it's a lie.
I think
It's a
so,
lie.
yeah.
Because they don't care. They don't have rules. So they
Right.
don't care if they lie to us. That's fine. Doesn't
And-
matter.
Does Temu text you like every other day now?
Oh, I blocked them.
I get
I need
Temu
to.
on a regular basis.
I get
Temu's
Temu and I get Shine. SHEIN. That's another Temu like.
Yeah,
Shine.
Temu texts me. Yeah, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday. Once a day, I get a text message from Temu.
Are they in French?
They might as well be. They're in English, but they don't make sense because they cut off the product name.
Oh, that's
Yesterday,
not very
they wanted
good
me to buy
marketing.
some type of laser engraver. Before that, a headset. Before that, a press machine, a foldable bathtub, and a 3D printer.
I think that engraver might come in handy. You should buy that.
That's $144. That sounds
Oh, I'm
high
sure
for
if you
Temu.
spin the wheel, you can get it for 80.
I'm going down here to see if I got a Temu.
Oh, it's a
No.
wood engraver.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and leather. I could.
Oh,
make
do
the
you get
patches and
woodworking
then-
ads? I get a lot of woodworking ads.
I do.
That's it.
Yeah,
I get a lot
could
of
make-
ads for
there
hats.
it is. Important was $42.99 from Temu. Let's see what it is. All right.
Is it a woodworking product?
AIUHI 5-piece wooden kitchen set.
Ah.
$1.54.
How can you beat that?
You can't.
You can't, Mike.
And if it's made out of wood,
And
that's amazing.
and I told you my $6 fashion bag
yes.
is selling on Amazon for $40.
This is probably the best case to discuss how great Temu is.
Yeah. So here are my Temu headphones. Nice little charging case. Wow. And then they're little loops. So instead of going in your ear, it just sets on the outside of your ear.
For what, $11?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just goes like that.
And it works.
And they're made of lead.
And it works outstanding as Bluetooth headphones.
Outstanding.
How does it?
It is an outstanding product.
Now
you-
I have
Fantastic.
now there's little things like, on my AirPods you just tap to pause and play and all. Can't figure out how to do that on these.
Well, none of those ever work.
But these
can't
I
do
use.
that.
You know what I use? I use these for sleeping because they don't go in my ear. They lay on the outside.
I see. Because in the past, you've lost how many earbuds in your ear while you sleep?
I believe Temu thinks that I'm a real handyman based on my interests, and I am not.
Temu fancies me a real dandy because they send me hat ads all the time.
By the way, speaking of hats, I think it's important because we've been talking about the cruise so much that we mention that we are going to be at Jimmy's on Kentucky Derby weekend on Saturday for Derby Day, and we do want people to wear hats.
Please.
Wear your fancy Kentucky Derby hats, and we'd like men and women to wear the most flamboyant women's hats they can possibly wear.
I love the word flamboyant. That totally
Flamboyant
captures
is the
it.
word.
Yes.
So many woodworking tools.
And call Jimmy's and reserve your table.
Yes. Are we getting reservations up there?
We are.
Or is it
I haven't gotten an
Are we
update.
disappointed about that?
No, I think we're doing okay.
All right, very good. Looking forward.
Got a message yesterday about travel from Spokane.
Oh, okay. That's
So
good.
people are traveling to come to Jimmy's.
That's the same people. That's all right. I don't get depressed about that. I don't get.
Have you ever looked up
We have
watches?
essentially the show is surviving now on 11 listeners. I want to point that
Very
out.
generous
We
people,
are
though. Very
surviving
generous.
on 11 dedicated listeners. That now getting back to the Temu, $15 for a wooden measuring cup set.
Why would you want a wooden measuring cup set?
Because it's beautiful.
No,
It
you
looks to
want-
be hand carved.
I can only imagine what chemicals they use to seal those cups in China.
I'm going into the bed. Lots of pillows. I'm going
Oh,
into the bed.
no, you stay away from Mike. What you need to search are watches because that's going to be your angle. They're going to show up with so many beautiful watches for you.
All right, hold on. I'm doing it right now.
Hand-carved wooden watch. The hardest part about a Temu watch, Josh, is the stickers where you put the numbers on.
Right. I think maybe kitchen utensils or maybe clothing might be the best deal on Temu. Because I think of electronics and you're going to get ripped up. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
bought
going to
some
work quite.
Mike. I bought some clothing from Temu, and it was great.
The watches are, the watches are what they are. They're very, very cheap to manufacture. So they do
But
that.
Mike, you know what you could do? You could expand your collection with volume.
$14.
Do you think they keep true time or do you think every hour you lose 3 minutes?
I think they're probably mostly quartz. They're probably not automatic.
Mhm.
But let me get in there. And
What
take
is the
a peek.
difference between automatic and quartz?
Quartz is battery operated. Automatic is
Oh.
a self-winding.
Okay.
All right, so I'm looking at that right now.
The
This seems to be a
the
copy.
Elvis watch that I bought from them was a quartz watch.
This says one piece luxury men's skeleton watch, automatic, mechanical, round dial, stainless steel case, faux leather strap. Yeah, right there they get me. That means like it's paper.
Mike,
correct?
because leather is the most expensive product to make a watch strap.
Yeah. Right there they killed me with it. But at least they were honest.
Yeah,
They
it'll
were
be
honest
probably
about
the same
that,
material that my leather pants that I bought from them is.
which is kind of
faux
like
leather.
paper.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like
But
if you
very,
really
very
pull it, you would
comfortable.
tear it. I'm fascinated. I could do an entire show just lingering on Temu, but it's very interesting. It's a see-through. You have skeleton watches all the time where you can see the mechanics through the watch.
Yes.
This is so incredibly elaborate that they're just a few tiny pieces. It's,
I think
yes.
Well, for one, Chris Arnold sent a super chat to help Mike with his next Temu order.
Okay.
Oh, I think that's
Thank you.
But I think maybe this might go into a TMOS extra where we spend some time on Temu, maybe
All right.
pick some
that.
products out, maybe even
Mhm.
order some stuff and then do a follow-up as they arrive.
Okay. I like
Oh, you
that.
know what would be great? What if we each chose a Temu product, like with a $5 ceiling?
For someone else.
No, and ordered it, and the first person to get the arrival wins.
I think I found one of the most expensive things on Temu.
What?
This is a watch. It's called the INW Carnival.
Yes.
That's $106.26.
I bet if you put it in your cart, it goes down to $20 somehow. That's what happens.
Add to cart. I'm going to
Yeah,
do that
very
right
fluid.
now.
And 4 free products.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Have you ever been able to indulge on any of those free stuff? I haven't. I can't figure out how to work it.
No, it never ends up free once I get to the shopping cart.
Exactly. And I don't need that stuff anyway.
All right, I'm putting it in now. All right,
Mike's buying a watch.
all right, hold on. No, I'm not going to buy it. Hold
Careful.
on.
You're one keystroke away.
And when it says $15.99 at the end, you might get excited that you're getting a
All
deal.
right, so I've got subtotal $184.44. I've got other stuff in there. And
What
go
else
to
is
cart,
in your
go to
cart?
Yeah, what's
There
in
we
your
go.
cart? I only
I've
have
got
one
the
thing in
wooden
my
spoons for $13.64.
You're going to get lockjaw.
Rob,
Don't-
you're wrong. Nothing has been discounted.
Well, then you might be in like the high rollers section. Of
Extra
Temu.
large reading pillow with armrest, $64.54.
Now, was that an accidental ad or something you were looking to purchase?
I may have, when I'm doing my letter writing, I actually might have,
An
been
armrest
interested
in
in
bed
that.
would be nice.
It's just I like to have when I'm handwriting. I like to have it like right there in front of me. And
I
but I
always
think it's
pictured
too
you
it's
with
too
like
pricey.
I pictured
Yeah.
you at like a Bob Cratchit desk.
Like the old rollaway desk.
Very
and stuff
tall
like
at
that.
a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, I've got a cart that's totaled $184.44. I am not purchasing a watch for $100.
Yeah, the only
from
thing
Temu.
I have in my Temu cart right now is the siren.
You have
The crank siren, right?
The crank siren, yeah.
Yeah, but see, you'd never be able to know how it sounds, right?
Mike, it said in the description it's very loud.
This is ridiculous.
It called it super
This
terrific
is,
happy
we are
siren.
obsessed with it because it's all this cheap crap. Not cheap in the watch department.
No, well, they
I got
get you in.
$39, $45, $126.
See, Mike, what they do is they get you in with the Lego Elvises, and then they hit you with the watches and the pillows.
Yeah.
That's it's good
Not
business.
that I'm not fascinated. Not that I am not fascinated with watches on Temu. Now that you have
You're gonna be
done
ordering
it.
one.
Now I was complaining about Rob's ADD. Now he has tapped into my ADD, and ADD. And see, I can't even say it because I'm getting out of this right now. I'm getting out of this.
Trip
There
suggests that you buy the skull dice for 59 cents.
There it is. So interesting. So proud.
So embarrassed.
So embarrassed. Yes, I am.
But Temu's
embarrassed.
probably where I can get my hat for Jimmy's.
You better order it now. It's only a month away.
Yeah, because God knows how long it's going to take to
My
get
hat from
China
Temu took
to
from
you.
the end of January to this weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
If only Temu had a celebrity spokesperson. You
Hey
know?
everybody, this is Reba McEntire.
There, I've got my my celebrity.
I think
spokesperson right there.
they could get Timo Phillips.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, that was our little dive into Temu and the car
$4.99 if you want
car
to get a hat.
scratch remover. If you'd like to, drop me a line, maybe you could have that.
Do you
too.
suppose that's generic to color, or is that? Did you buy that a
The
specific
top row
color?
says all Americans are idiots.
That's the brand
what
I
it
bought.
says.
No, but
Do not get on hands.
you don't remember ordering this from Temu. Do you think
don't.
any chance Carla did?
No,
Okay.
100% not. She doesn't
So
care.
could you open the tube and tell me what the color of the paste is?
White,
I'm wondering.
like toothpaste.
Okay,
And what's
so
does it taste like toothpaste? Is it teeth polisher?
super terrific, happy tooth polish. No, Mike, no.
I wouldn't do that. God
No.
knows what's in here.
Because I'm
God
curious
knows.
if we can use it on any color of car.
Color easy. All like different fonts too.
Yeah, of course.
Hold on. I'll turn it upside down. See if you can get that.
Mike, I'm afraid that if I color my car, it's going to be difficult. Okay, hold it. I see it. It's coming.
Maybe you ordered it for the last car,
Could be.
since Temu takes a while.
2 years ago. Come on, hands. Jesus Christ.
Mike, I think you're doing great. The medication is paying off.
Yeah, good job with your Lego.
Yeah. Well, Mike, I'm not trying to say I'm any better or worse. I'm
Oh my God! So anyway, it's a
at least color easy is right side up, unlike
We'll,
Elvis's face.
just continue buying stuff. You got me on the. I swear to God, I will be looking at watches after the show from Team.
Do you think there is a chance? Obviously, you're not going to get anything of extraordinary quality, but is there any chance you'll find something that interests you?
Of course, I can tell you that already. It's sick. It's a sickness. They prey upon the Americans' desire for consumption that is all powerful, and and then it's going to be the ultimate invasion. No, it's not going to be Canada. It's going to be China, ladies and gentlemen. So,
And they're coming in with their color easy bombs.
Yes, absolutely.
They got to put all the guns together when they get here.
Made
add
out
the
of
stickers.
plastic.
Yeah, make sure the gun is right side up.
We will take a break, and we will come back with more fun. We've got the roundtable coming up on the Mike O'Mara Show. And later on, we've got celebrities who sell their souls. We'll be right back, everybody. Oh, we go right to it now. Okay, there we go. Hold on just a second. Let me do this. Let me get my Temu monitor working. Do you have delightful memories, like when you had a full head of hair that wasn't white, like a puppet? Do you want to relive those halcyon days? But are they trapped on VHS tapes or film reels, and you just aren't sure where to start? Chill out, Karen. We have found the perfect solution, Legacy Box. Legacy Box is the simple and safe solution for digitizing all your family's precious memories. Plus, when you go to legacybox.com/TMOS, you can enjoy 50% off when you get started with Legacy Box today. Co-founders Nick and Adam started Legacy Box in their college dorm room over a decade ago. Since then, it's grown from a team of two to the largest and most trusted digitizing company in the world. Right now, when you purchase a Legacy Box, you get 90 days free access to Legacy Box Cloud, which is the easiest way to stream, share, and download your memories. It's like Netflix, but for your home movies. You can stream your vids or pics anywhere, download, organize, and save them, and store them securely. The Legacy Box Cloud brings you peace of mind. And now you can't even lose your photos if you tried. Go to legacybox.com/TMOS to save 50% for a limited time only. Go to legacybox.com/TMOS. That's legacybox.com/TMOS. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. News, ladies and gentlemen.
News.
We start today with Chapel Roan. I think she was on SNL recently. I'm pretty sure she was. But
Yeah, I think so. Not this week,
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
She is under fire for insulting parents with young children. All right. Really? Are you serious about this? During her recent interview on the Call Her Daddy podcast, she said, quote, "All of my friends who have kids are in hell. I actually don't know anyone who's like happy and has like a 1-year-old, 3 and under, 4, under 5. And I literally have not met anyone who is happy, anyone who has light in their eye, or anyone who has slept. Why did my parents do this?" People are getting upset about this. Are you kidding me? Seriously?
she speaks the truth.
Not surprisingly, the negative comments are piling up. They include, "Imagine being one of those friends that confide in her about being an exhausted parent only for her to share it with the world in a negative way." Who cares?
Exactly.
Shut up.
I used
Please,
to
the
tell Carrie,
sensitivity. Come
I used to
on.
tell Carrie, no matter how bad we do with our kids, there are millions and millions of people that are doing worse. So just do the best you can. And you know what? Part of that is lack of sleep. You got to
Look,
deal with it.
And
it
she's
all-
exaggerating as well.
Yes, she's, I think,
It's
attempting a
entertainment.
little levity, I believe, right? I mean, so anyway, another person writes, I feel like Chappell speaks like an overly confident 19-year-old. Once again, so what if she does? Chappell Roan is a mean girl with extremely negative energy, and I'm
What?
tired of pretending she's not. What is wrong with people? Really, what is wrong with people? Can't you just let people pop off occasionally?
Mike,
I mean, really.
this story settles it. I am no longer going to let Chappell Roan tell me how to parent.
There's even a TikTok trend of moms posting happy videos with their kids with Chappell's comments playing over them. Okay. Yeah, we get it. Okay, you are happy if
Yeah.
you have kids. Look,
They're
it's
happy moms with sensible haircuts, Mike.
you got 3 parents here. We've all been there. We've done it. You have great, great moments, and you have horrific moments when you have a 3-year-old.
Yes.
It's everybody. That's the way it works. But as I mention to people all the time, I think I speak with maybe a little more credibility than a lot of people because I had a son late in life, very late in life. And I will tell you, it's the happiest I've ever been. I really, really dig every minute. I've enjoyed every phase of it. And so he's like, oh, that's because your wife does that. No, we've co-parented in a very active way. And it's still great, even when he's a little a-hole. It's fun. I love it.
Chappell Roan says that kids in his age group are never happy.
No, kids in his age group can be a pain in the ass, but it doesn't take away from the fact that, it's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
Dad.
It's the best thing in the world.
And what I'm saying now more than anything else, language. Language. Yes.
What's his go-to bad word?
Oh, man. What the fuck? And he doesn't finish the.
Wow.
That's his new thing.
Well, that's an attention getter.
Yeah, and there's a lot of jargon. Josh, I know you'll back me up on this. Lots of lingo and
Yeah, you gotta keep
ways
up with
of
it.
You got to keep up, but I'm done with that.
Mike,
I can't do that.
But he didn't say fudge.
Well, he sometimes can. Sometimes, you'll hear it when he's. And by the way, he had his buddy over yesterday, and they're both great kids. And this kid is super bright, and that's what they share. They're very, very intellectually advanced young men. And this one kid is so funny. I made a dish that I will tell you about later in the show. And I said, how do you like it? And he said, it's like a Disney fireworks explosion in your mouth.
Wow.
I just thought it was, I said, shut up. Come on now, Well, I'm sorry. My apologies. Let me fix that. It was 60 years ago that Roger Daltrey sang, Hope I Die Before I Get Old.
Oh, talking about my generation.
It didn't happen. Daltrey just turned 81 earlier this month. He's still performing, but it sounds like the wheels may start to fall off soon. During a show at Royal Albert Hall in London, Daltrey said, quote, the joys of getting old mean you go deaf. I also now have got the joy of going blind. Now, I don't know if he's exaggerating that because a lot of rock and rollers have lost their hearing with stage monitors.
Yeah.
And
The Who, notorious for loud concerts. I
he
told him if he kept that up, he's going to go blind.
He added, quote, fortunately, I still have my voice because then I'll have a full Tommy. That's right, if he doesn't have his voice.
Okay.
He was referring to the main character of their rock opera, Tommy, the deaf, dumb, blind kid. That's I'm
But
sure
he
you're
sure
aware
played a
of that.
mean pinball.
Sure plays a mean pinball.
Ba-da-da,
Was the Who
ba-da-da.
notorious for their loud concerts?
I believe so. I think they held a record for a while. They're also notorious for having the person die in Cincinnati when they had the festival seating. They all rushed in and someone was trampled at a Who concert.
Are you a Who fan? Do you like the Who?
I like their hits. I'm not a big album guy, but I really like My Generation. I like Boris the Spider, and I like Who Are You? I think that's a great song.
Man, I remember that when I was at Marist College when that one broke, and we got complimentary albums from the record companies, even at a college radio station. And that one came in, and man,
So great. Yeah.
That is literally one of my big college memories from that school I went to for 2 years.
What is your take on the song Squeeze Box?
Mama's got a squeeze box, Daddy never sleeps at night.
I think it's probably their catchiest song, but it's really antithetical to what they are. It doesn't sound like a Who record.
Well, yeah. And what was the squeeze box? Really?
The squeeze box, Mike, was probably a concertina.
Concertina. Yeah, well, there are a lot of people that thought it was something else. All right.
Yeah, I hear that.
A lawyer in Fort Worth, Texas, is in the news for claiming you could get a DUI from drinking too much coffee.
Mike?
He posted a video about how DUI and DWI don't just mean booze or illicit drugs. If they impair your ability to drive,
Yeah.
legal drugs can also get you in trouble. And he specifically mentioned caffeine. He said it's not something.
The last sip.
Thank you, Charlie's Choice. He said it's not something that actually happens. It just could. But there are examples of people getting arrested for it. A guy in California got pulled over in 2015 for driving erratically. Caffeine was the only thing in his system, and they charged him with a DUI.
Wow.
Driving too much caffeine.
Was he a morning disc jockey?
Yeah, coming in. I'd get up at 3:30 on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. I would drive into Washington, D.C. to do my morning show. I would have a 16-ounce cup of coffee on one side of the bridge, a 16-ounce cup of coffee on the other side of the bridge, and when I got into the studio, I would have another 16-ounce cup of coffee. And I wondered why I got migraines.
I'm curious, Mike, did you buy the pre-bridge coffee and the post-bridge
No,
coffee
I bought
at
them
separate
both. I would
locations?
have two 16-ouncers in my car. No, I would not be foolishly where I would be on one side of the bridge and buy it and then go on it.
Because
No.
I know them. I
It'd be
know
one
this-
trip to the 7-Eleven. I got a show to do.
I know the 7-Eleven you would go to on the opposite side of the bridge.
Yeah, it was. No, the one I went to was. It was near the. Was it on the side? I'm not sure. I think I went over the bridge and then grabbed my.
Yeah,
tube.
because it's on a service road on the right side just when you
Correct.
get over the bridge.
Yeah, they
know,
knew me well.
Yeah. Now, question about that. The most impressive thing is not the amount of coffee and caffeine you had, is how you are able to go 48 ounces without taking a leak. That's like a superhero to me.
I'm a
nowadays.
camel. Always have been a camel. Say
Still-
that to the man that wakes up at 3:30 every morning.
One hump or two.
Oh my God! Yeah, but I mean, it was too much. It was crazy. But it
Cream
could
and
have been
sugar?
worse. No,
Just black.
black coffee, and
Yeah.
and back in those, and then I had to stop because it was not agreeing with me. And a doctor said to me that that's probably the reason you are getting these migraines is you're drinking too much coffee. So I went cold turkey, and then I only rejoined the coffee generation about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and now we've got our own coffee, Charlie's Choice, which is fantastic. From the wonderful Peacock, is it Peacock, Josh?
Screaming Peacock.
Screaming Peacock Brewery.
Now, when you got off
Roastery.
the coffee,
Roastery, not brewery.
what did you replace it with?
Cocaine.
Mike
They,
used to he'd do a line of blow before the bridge, line of blow after the
Two
bridge.
during the show.
Two during the show.
And then one
And
after
each side of the bridge.
for the meetings. Let's go, Power 105. A lawyer. No, we already had that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's the caffeine guy.
GQ says grandpa shoes are in fashion now.
Finally.
They just did a big write-up in their mag on New Balance's latest offering called Allerdales. I think a lot of this New Balance comes from professional athletics. You see a lot of ball players, a lot of baseball players that are wearing the New Balance, and they look good. It's
New
actually
Balance, Mike, always noted for extra width. They were a wide shoe.
Yeah. And these New Balances that I'm pulling up don't look like your traditional New Balances.
Okay, let's take a peek. I want to see. I want to see what they look like.
Have
Because
you ever bought New Balance?
No, I always thought they were kind of old man shoes.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't buy 'em.
I had a lot of them.
It's the
This is the model you just referenced.
Ooh,
Oh, chocolatey brown. Is that made of chocolate?
that is not a good-looking shoe,
No.
in my
It's
humble
got
opinion.
the bad traits of a tennis shoe and a loafer.
Yeah, the brown version. They did an article on that a few weeks
Oh,
ago.
they do have a white version as
Yeah,
well.
they said now the white. They describe the look as downright orthopedic. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But they're-
Prescription shoes.
Apparently, they're the thing. There's nothing special about them. They're pebbled leather with normal laces and the New Balance logo on the side, but they somehow cost $250.
yeah, I've got it
Everything's
right here on their
expensive,
website, $250.
Do you have the white one? Do you have the white one? I'd love to see a picture of the white one because that
Let me
probably
see.
looks more orthopedic.
I would think so.
A writer for GQ declared that the brand has sidestepped the dad shoe trend and decided to bring the granddad shoe into the mainstream. He says the granddad shoes moment is only just arriving. I don't doubt that they're probably comfortable, but it might stay a while. And have we not always been aware of old man shoes?
Yeah.
Like Velcro straps.
Sure.
Or the there it is.
They don't look any better.
Well, it's the pebbled leather that looks
Yeah.
so ancient.
It really does.
You know, man, as my mom used to say, Adidas. I love me my Adidas. Only golf shoe I wear, Adidas, and I love them. I love them.
Reebok.
Reeboks, are they? Yeah, you like those tennis shoes that you still have.
Well,
right?
I still have one brand new pair of Reebok high tops from the 80s that I haven't.
That you
I've
haven't
only-
worn at all.
I've worn once or twice, but they are
Have
sparkling
you checked
white.
the value on that as far as what they might be going for now?
Apparently, most of the people with my shoe size have passed. So
But I would imagine you would probably get a little financial windfall. From
maybe,
that, Rob.
but I like them. I like them too bad. I wanna
Really?
keep them. Yeah.
Have you ever checked the price at all?
No. Want me to right now?
Yeah, find
Okay.
out how much they are, because I would think that you would probably, if it's from the 80s and they are
Late 80s, yeah.
mint and they are Bristol, you're probably going to do really, really well with that. So speaking of the 80s, I really do believe this chain came about in the 80s. If you haven't been to a Hooters in years, you're not alone. They've been struggling to stay afloat. According to
I
reports,
get jokes.
they're $300 million in debt.
Wow. That's happened when we moved. We stopped going to New York, Mike.
Yeah,
Was that a private equity thing?
I'm not sure.
There was a
year
big story last week about how private equity is destroying long-living companies like Joann's Fabric.
They closed about 40 locations in the U.S. Now they're trying to attract more business by making a pivot to being more family friendly. That's the antithesis of what the chain is all about. It's kind of a guy's place where you go in to look at boobs.
$199 for the shoes, Mike.
Not that big.
No, not enough to sell them. And I think that when we were going to Hooters on the regular in New York City,
Yeah.
it was a fine family business.
Well,
Don't you think?
I think you've seen kids at Hooters forever.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you can do. I just am not allowed to go.
Most of them are kids of the waitresses.
They are calling it a re-Hooterization, but it's more like a de-Hooterization.
Yeah, just put your foot in the grave now. You're done.
Hooters and their offshoot Hoots Wings have become increasingly family-friendly over the past decade and have long had a solid kids menu, but now they're going all in. Ownership says it's depressing to them that women would not want their families going to Hooters, even dads alone. They didn't say what exactly they'd be changing to make it more PG or when, but it's safe to say, no, it's not safe to say. Don't assume that they'll get rid of the skimpy outfits and bikini nights. I don't know. They don't say it, so don't assume it. You never know what they're going to do. They're also looking to refresh their menu with fresher ingredients. It's fried wings,
Mike,
right?
They're
Isn't that
talking
what it
about the
is?
chicken. The
Yeah.
chicken will be fresher.
Last month, there were reports that Hooters was preparing to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and that could result in more closings. They are currently around 250 locations in the U.S. You know what? One of the best versions of this food that I had one time, all-you-can-eat snow crab legs at Hooters, and they were
I
fantastic.
bet they didn't make any money on you.
Oh,
Me
God,
neither.
they were
I'd kill
great.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
we did. It was absolutely yummy.
Hooters was the first place my father took me to get drunk. When I was like 20, I had just turned 21, and we
Probably
had done
not the
something.
best idea for your dad to do that with.
Well, Mike, this was over 30 years ago. No one knew I had a problem then.
Yeah.
And so he took me to Hooters, and he just kept giving me Budweisers as
That's
soon as
just
I
a sentence that I would never include in my life, even when my dad was alive, that my dad would want me to get drunk. It would be the opposite.
Well, no, I think he wanted to see how I would be because he gave me
How you would
Like
be
a-
drunk or around the girls.
how I would be drunk. A
Would there be
spiwag
would
is
there be a
polite
re-
to the
would-
death.
Would
What?
there be a reason for that he wanted to see you get
Probably
drunk?
entertainment.
To see if you ran funny.
You don't see that as a problem?
No, because we also had dinner. But anyway, he dropped me off at home, And it was one of the few times my mom called him without like just total good news since they'd been divorced. She called him and said, "What did you do to your son?"
Was she lighthearted about it, or was
Not really. She didn't want me dumped off.
Your mother is the parent that with the better judgment, in my humble opinion. You don't take your kid out, and look what happened to you.
Well, better judgment is one thing, but my father and I had much more fun than she did that night.
I get that. Finally, today, Zoomers across the West are having far less sex than other generations did when they were young. But Gen Z women in France are telling a different story. A new survey of 10,000 French nationals conducted by the country's National Institute for Demographic Studies found that a sizable number of young females are experimenting with multiple sexual partners.
Look out.
According to the data, 29% of those surveyed between the ages of 25 and 29 have had sex with at least 10 different men. Meanwhile, the new survey out of France found that 19% of Gen Z females in that country identify as something other than heterosexual. 10% of young French females say they're bisexual, while 5% identify as pansexual. Meanwhile, 2% identify as lesbian, while another 2% categorize themselves as asexual. And, if you want to pursue this further, as I always said about French women, if you want the answer when it comes to French women, always go straight to the armpit hair. That's what I say. That's true. That's still a thing, isn't it? Or does that
I
date
think
me
so.
a little bit?
Yeah.
I still think a majority of them have that, right?
Yeah,
I'll take some notes when I head there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Josh is going to Europe.
that's right.
And he's going to try to, check in with us periodically.
And
Otherwise, it's just him and me.
The voice coming in Josh's headphones in Paris will be, "Quit looking at my underarms."
Stop it. Why are you doing that? France, you're also going to a few other countries, aren't you?
Italy, France, London. I know London's
France,
a city.
and that's awesome. You're going to have a
Well,
great
I
time.
see London and I see France.
I see Josh Soroka's underpants. Are you familiar with the rock and roll oldie tossin' and turnin'? That's a good title for Josh to say. Well, in that song, Bobby Lewis tells us that he didn't sleep at all last night. It sounds to me like Bobby could use a nightcap. Today's episode of this podcast is sponsored by Soul. The team at Soul just launched their new out-of-office nightcap gummies, which are similar to their world-famous sleep gummies. But nightcap gummies have 3 milligrams of THC for people who require something a little stronger to go to sleep. THC and melatonin in Soul's nightcap gummies work together to promote deep, restorative sleep. How? Well, THC helps you go to sleep faster, stay asleep longer. The melatonin signals to your body that it's time to sleep, and Soul's out-of-office nightcap gummies also contain CBN and CBD. So you sleep deeply and wake up without feeling groggy. And, of course, Soul obviously made them absolutely delicious blueberry lemonade flavor. Science! She blinded me with science, and she failed me in geometry. Plus, if you want to treat yourself, crack open a cold out-of-office sparkling THC beverage, delicious and relaxing. Be like Rob, subscribe to the wonderful little helpers. They really work, and I love them too. So hit snooze on crappy sleep. Prepare for a great night. Go to getsoul.com. Use code TMOS for 30% off your order. That is 30% off your order using the code TMOS. Getsoul.com. Code TMOS. 30% off. That is a wonderful, wonderful deal.
I was drinking one of their out-of-office sparkling beverages.
Yes.
And I decided to include a Thomas Dolby lyric in every one of their spots.
She blinded me with science.
Good heavens, you're beautiful.
Goes back to all the time I was an actual club DJ, and that was one of my my go-to hits that I played. They had the
Really?
the disco long versions of that.
A lot of versions of it, yeah.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Josh Soroka, I have a question for you. Are you there?
I'm here. I'm waiting for the question.
The
Question is
bated breath. Yeah.
the
It
question
means we're
is,
going politics or religion. That's how it goes when you have a question for me.
you couldn't be more wrong. Josh, a Trump third term.
Yeah.
Um,
I wish he would shut up.
Okay, I would. You know, the reason I ask you is because I think probably even people that voted for him a little too soon. What are you doing? You know,
it's not even a too soon thing. It's not a law. Like, you can't do that.
Yes,
and I thought the entire time he was joking about it because he makes comments and jokes to kind of upset the media that doesn't like him.
Right.
And lets them go spin off in whatever. But then they asked if he's serious, and he said yes.
Question: I've never read the amendment. Is it more than 2 consecutive terms, or more than 2 terms total? Because
I think that it's more than 2 total. But I think that consecutive thing might be what he's trying to go with.
All right. Yeah. Well, you have to admit he is, of the presidents of our lifetime, probably the most like Roosevelt. So I say give it to him.
Well, it's much. The problem is the way he handles it. Is instead he could have easily said, "Well, no, I can't physically be president, but I can still be involved," like Obama or something, and say, because many people have talked on my side about how Biden's terms was just another Obama term. So he could have leaned into that instead of just saying, "Yeah, I'm serious."
You know what's funny?
Into it. It's not a good answer.
This is where the lack of paying attention to history. How many vice presidents were a continuation of the president's policies? Why is that something? That's just the way it works. That's why you know.
It's less about the figure; it's more about the party.
Right?
You know? Yeah. It goes on and on. If you can do that, that's the way it goes.
Exactly, and that's how he should have answered it. Is not he's serious about himself a third term, but this Trump "Make America Great" thing continuing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all over the news. And
be classy. Step down like Walter Mondale.
I think that I'm going to make an effort again to retreat back into my hole and not get caught up in it. I think we're duped. I think this is not something other than really manipulated to get us to keep paying attention. This man
100%.
knows how to keep his name on the tip of our tongues at all times. And I get it, you know?
Yeah, and he knows how to get you upset about something stupid.
Yes.
So then he can take care of something else behind the scenes.
There's serious stuff going on right now. Make no mistake. But if he throws out the third term, that's something easy to complain about.
Yeah, and I think that, look, I didn't want to give credit to say that this is a master manipulator, but I'm beginning to as time goes on. But there's historical precedents over, there are patterns that you would see with strong men that are similar to the way Trump is doing this. But most of that comes with his followers. Mm-hmm. I think his followers are more similar than Trump himself, believe it or not. I really do believe that. Well, I think when you talk about his presidency and his authoritarian streak and his admiration of people that are authoritarian, I think he is less so than the people around him that all are like, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yeah, it really does seem to be.
Well, it's easier to be a follower of a policy than it is the creator of it.
Yeah.
And all he has to do is say it, and he's got 1 million people doing it, more than 1 million.
Well, I'm thinking specifically about the people that are in his cabinet and surrounding him. That's
we saw him manipulate the media when doing his cabinet announcements. Mm-hmm. I don't think he ever saw Matt Gaetz in his cabinet. I think he put that name out there, so then everyone talked about that and complained about that while he then released some other names.
And as someone who hates to give credit to Donald John Trump, but I will tell you that I think that you would be ignorant if you discounted the possibility where that wasn't manipulating the media to stay out there. I think that the old cliche of all publicity is good publicity applies here more than anybody else. So third term, well, look what we're talking about. I mean, I bring it in there because that jumps to the top of all of the news sites all the time when you see something like that. And here we are again, even though he's climbed the mountain and he's achieved the presidency, you still keep that engine chugging along.
You bring up something, Mike, that it's sort of gelling for me right now. He has a top 40 disc jockey mentality of any news is good news. Anytime they're talking about you is good. And that's fine if you're a top 40 disc jockey. Mm-hmm. But he's the president of the United States. He shouldn't have to worry about being on the top of people's
I
minds.
know, but
That's how he became president.
That's how he became. I was going to say the exact same thing. So I mean, but at the same time, as I said, I don't know the mechanism or whether this is just an innate ability that because when you get to a certain point where this formula has gone on and on and on, one has to think, I have to think, are we being played? I really do.
Yeah.
So, you'll hear more about it. You know what? Let's keep an eye on it and find out when it dies down. Will this be, because I don't think it will immediately in the foreseeable immediate future, but I don't know how long this thing will have legs. It'll be interesting to see. It really, really will, because that's going to keep people talking about this
and
administration.
It's a total play of the media, just like Dictator for one day was.
Yeah.
And people the media still focused on that, where he knew what he was saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe look, do I think he's a genius? No, I don't. No, I don't. Let me make sure that people know that. Do I think that there are similarities to authoritarian leaders? I think all the time there are.
Mm-hmm.
But there's part of me that just says, I feel like I'm getting played. I really do, more than I ever
I still
have.
think that when he announced his candidacy, it was a joke for him.
Oh,
And
I believe that could be true.
And he
also.
got sucked into it, and now
Yeah.
he can't blink.
Well, he
because-
loves the win. I mean, it's
Yeah,
the
he
ultimate.
does. He
It's
does
the
love
ultimate win, and it is the ultimate narcissistic me in the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
There's not. Not that all presidents weren't narcissists, but the idea.
Millard Fillmore wasn't.
Millard Fillmore. Thank you. I appreciate that. Always nice to hear that mentioned. When we return, I would like to talk about. I've talked about my mistakes in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to talk about a kitchen victory.
Big win.
And what's great about a great recipe is looked at the paper once, and now it's in the intergovernment. I will remember it forever, and man, it was...
Boy, that's good news for when you get to the old folks' home, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yes. I don't forget it. It's fantastic.
What's my son's name? Quarter cup of butter.
Very funny. Are you struggling to shed those last 5 to 10 pounds? Microdosing with semaglutide or tirzepatide might just be the game changer you've been looking for. And the best part, no BMI requirement. Whether you're that's body mass index, by the way.
It is.
Whether you're just looking to fine-tune your weight loss or you want to break through a plateau, my lovely wife, my bride, the apple of my eye, the woman who is 130 years younger than I am, Carla O'Mara, has you covered. You see, at dermglowskin.com, it's a simple process. Take the quick online quiz, get doctor approval, and then have your treatment shipped straight to your door. No long appointments, no waiting rooms, just results. Plus, payment plans are available, so reaching your goals has never been more accessible. My daughter doing it with Carla right now.
Oh, that's
she is
great.
on one of these wonderful medications. It's really changed so many lives. I come across people every single day that have successfully done this. Why wait? Get started today at dermglowskin.com and take the first step toward the body you want. Carla's inbox always open. Email her today. Be the best that you can be. I'm Mike, and I now have the ability to participate in lumberjack games. That's the real passion. I'm going to Maine this summer. I will be, let's just say there won't just be a native Mainer that'll be dancing on that log.
Yo ho.
Now, go in peace to love and serve the clients. Thank you.
Mike, I think your best lumberjack game is the climbing the greased pole, but you're very good at the stepping on the spinning log in the water. God, I've never seen anyone like that. And barefoot.
Yeah, well, I have a secret for the grease pole that I don't share with a lot of people, but I'll share it with you right now.
Thank you. What is it?
Before the competitions, about 3 weeks before, I stop trimming my fingernails. Just like a badger. Just like a badger.
And that's tough on the family, but it's
Tough on
only
my
3
fingernails.
weeks.
Really. I'll tell you that bark and grease, it takes hours to get rid of that. All right.
I'm going to mail you an emery board.
Little guessing game.
Okay.
Who would like to pick the cuisine? The heading being the cuisine under which my dish was place.
Josh, would you like to go first? There's an obvious first guess that I think is wrong.
Now, I don't know
Josh,
which direction to go with
Josh,
this.
did you
No.
stroke out there? I'm just kind of curious.
Well,
for a
I
second.
think
I
I
was
got
think that
confused
Josh
at the
would-
title of the Koo-zine.
I think Josh-
if it's a category
Koo-zine.
or a, and yes, I can't say the word cuisine. Cuisine. There it is. Cuisine, maybe.
I
Cuisine.
love you, man. That is awesome. Koo-zine. The Koo-zine.
So I think
Hey, that's
Josh,
a name we called something else at American University.
Look out, look
Hey,
out.
Where you doing? Going up to the 8th floor for the Koo-zine, if you get my drift.
I think Josh would guess Italian, but I'm thinking not Italian.
Not Italian.
See,
I'll
I
give
was
Rob the ding.
thinking Italian.
Well, then you
but
get
that's
the
where I got
buzzer.
confused if I was supposed to choose a type of Italian.
No,
Rob
no.
gets the for not
So-
Italian.
I'm thinking Mexican.
That is incorrect.
Oh,
There are not many of them
Seafood?
out there. No, it was a chicken dish.
The southern part of the United States. And you
What?
fried
Chicken?
the
They have
chicken. Yes.
It was not fried chicken.
Okay. Then this is a curveball, but I'm thinking Indian.
It is not Indian. I will jump right to it. This is a silly game to waste our time with.
Yes.
I will tell you, it was Asian cuisine. Little Chinese, little Thai, little combo. But I am here
So
to say,
spicy? Was it spicy?
It had a little spice. There was
Good.
just a bit of, but I made the traditional, and they call it restaurant style chicken fried rice. And let me tell you, easy peasy. And I won't say the second part of that. It was
Lemon
yummy.
squeezy.
It was really, really a smash. And with my kitchen failures, I've talked about them on the show where I go back to the Christmas Eve gray roast that I pulled
I
out of the
remember.
oven one time. As my sister will always say to me, it was still juicy. Thank you, Kath. That's one of the few times she supported me and then got right back to her old ways when she called my second Boston Terrier a pit bull. But anywho.
But he was also juicy.
Yes. Juicy,
Wasn't there
delicious.
a stuffing from Paula Deen that was a noted failure?
There was a stuffing on a Thanksgiving at the old Manassas house that Paula never liked a stick of butter more Dean that it was so heinous. It was so nasty. It was so over buttered. And I followed the recipe to the T. It was like an oyster stuffing.
Yes.
And it was just, it was like the breading was sort of disintegrating because of the liquid that was in there. I don't know
couldn't
if I
stand
put
up to the, but
something
maybe
wrong
you
in there.
needed a more artisanal bread.
Then, of course, there was the time Colonel Colburn came over, and I think I shorted everybody on shrimp because I I didn't buy enough.
Wasn't there 3 per person?
It was terrible.
But this-
there were like 3 little shrimp. That I don't know what I was saying. I was an idiot. I've had some kitchen disasters, so when I
But
have
this
a
is a
triumph,
success. Walk us through it real quick. Like, do
real
you
quick.
pre-cook the rice?
You pre-cook the rice.
All right.
That's the key. And not only do you pre-cook the rice, you put it in the fridge and chill it. You chill the rice. That's part of the thing. This
well, isn't that why restaurants use like the next day rice?
I think that
It is.
that's probably similar to what it is, but rice is rice, and you can keep it in the fridge for a while if you cover it. And
You know what Mitch Hedberg said?
What's that?
He said if rice is a great food if you want to eat 2,000 of something.
Who's Mitch Hedberg?
He's a great stand-up comic.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Don't, Mike, I can't explain my brain. I'm sorry.
I understand. Very funny.
Thank you for saying it was not just funny, but very funny.
That was very, very. That's a witty. That was a witty aside. Yeah. Oh wait, I've got that. Hold on a minute. Where the hell is it? Come on, where's my some of it really fine? Please. Oh, hey, I found it. All right.
Oh, I think it's marvelous. Some of it really fine.
Hey, Mitch Hedberg.
Hey,
Hippie comic.
Then the only thing that made it messier than I wanted to be,
Yeah.
and more time consuming, is everything has to be cooked on its own before
Yeah.
the whole thing is
Lots
mixed
of
together.
pans. Lots of
so
pans.
a pan for the vegetables, a pan for the a pan for the vegetables, cook, set aside. Then you do the chicken, cook, set aside. Then you do the egg, cook, set aside. That's the real.
I'm guessing
pain
what,
in the ass.
peas, carrots, onions?
carrots, and onions. You're nailing it. Well, I mean, it's no secret, but
No,
I mean,
it's a great dish.
oh man, and here's the key: little cayenne pepper in the egg mixture,
Hear ya. That's good. Strong.
and then hoisin soy. That's it. That's all you put in there, and hoisin sauce is like pure sugar. It's yummy, and it was not too heavy, and I think it was healthier because that's.
Do you scramble the eggs and then add them in? Because I've seen recipes where you fry them in the rice, like you warm the rice, then put the eggs in.
You could have done that, and I would have liked to do that. In my opinion, I would have loved to mix everything up and then put the rice in.
Yeah.
But and I might try. I'm going to experiment with it, and I got an invite from one of my buddies who wants to get us and another couple over there, and he said in the text, was sitting next to your friends. We talked about the 3 couples getting together with our kids, which we all have young kids. And he said, hey, you could put your chef's hat. Why don't you come over to our house and put your chef's hat on? Is that asking me to cook dinner for everybody at his house?
I think
Yes.
so.
Is that what it is? Okay. I'm thinking maybe, right? That
Well,
might
the
be
thing about the
that might
fried
be a
rice,
thing.
Mike, you could cook all the ingredients in advance.
That's
and
right.
just
And then just pour it in and
combine
mix
them at
it.
his house, like a cooking show.
You're working today. See,
Yeah.
when you get on the food subject, nobody's better. Nobody's better than Rob Spiewak. I'm going to do that. I think it's
And don't
fantastic.
forget the trouble. You want to make
the
some
trouble
money.
game.
You
Oh
want to
my
make some money
God.
when you leave that house.
Now I can't wait for the social event. I'm
Just
actually
make
going to
sure,
look
Mike-
forward to it.
Just make sure, Mike, you've allowed every guest to have 2 cubes of chicken.
Yeah, that'll be a good idea. There's really not enough to eat.
I'll
And I
sit this one out.
By the way, you have to kind of make it in advance if you're going to cook it like that, and then just get a big, giant thing to mix it all
a
up.
wok. You know what? Tell him you'll bring your chef's hat if he oils his wok.
Hi, Temu. I'm looking for a wok the size of a Jeep Cherokee. We got to take a break. We'll come back with more fun. You got beautiful video,
Mike, it's
right?
gorgeous and it's fun and nothing about rice.
And the fun and the blingsin and the blaze. Hey, I want to talk to you about Naked Wines, ladies
So
and gentlemen.
good.
How would you like to be the most interesting person at the next big party? Not just with fried rice. Hey, you don't need that. You can come up with your wine, make up a story about being in a text chain with the U.S. Defense Secretary. Because that is a lie. Just show up with a bottle of wine from an independent winemaker with a truly unique story. This podcast is sponsored by Naked Wines, a subscription service that seamlessly connects you to the finest independent winemakers on the planet, so you get a case of the market's best quality wines for a fraction of the price you'd normally pay in stores. With our code, you can get 6 bottles of wine for just $39.99. Naked Wines believes that great wine is an experience that helps you connect with your friends, family, and community over a shared bottle of the grape. Turn off the noise of the outside world and uncork a bottle to celebrate the little joys in life. Plus, you can pause or cancel at any time. Let's go.
Go!
You need to join the Naked Wines community. Head to nakedwines.com/TMOS and put in our code for both the code and password. You'll get 6 bottles of wine for just $39.99 with shipping included. That's nakedwines.com/TMOS and code TMOS for 6 bottles of wine. Only $39.99. The wines are fantastic. Good luck with that whole Greenland thing.
Hey, I like that. Some beautiful video.
Boston. You know what? Mentioning Greenland, Saturday Night Live, nice try this weekend. Not a single remarkable sketch. Nothing. Really bad. Please try harder. Okay. Mike.
Well, when you've got 11-year-old cast members, where the goal seems to be making them more waif-like and ridiculously young-looking, I mean, it's weird. How about some grown-ups?
You want grown-ups?
Well, do you ever think really
They don't want to do that.
Do you think Dan Aykroyd in his 20s and Bill Murray and John Belushi in their 20s look like these kids in their 20s?
No, because these kids are beautiful.
They're little pretty, perfect little pretty people.
Right,
They
but how's
still
it
have
doing
funny
for
people.
How's it doing for TikTok? That's all SNL cares about now.
Yeah,
You're right.
That's true. The little
Bowen
TikTok
is funny.
clips.
Bowen Yang is funny. Mike, you had a restaurant. Did you ever have trouble with your grease trap?
We did in the restaurant business. You do what are called grunges, and grunges are referred to with that great name because it is a deep clean that has to be done usually monthly in a restaurant where
How
you
often
really
did you
have
do
to
it
get
at
in.
O'Mara's?
Every 3 years. You teed that one up. Yeah, grease traps are problematic. They really are.
They clog.
They clog.
And when they clog, you call a plumber. And as is tradition, you pay the plumber when he does his duty and he unclogs it. But if you don't pay him, the plumber has the advantage.
Owners of an East Side restaurant say they feel extorted after they say their plumber returned.
Absolutely, that guy. First of all, his collar is 2 inches too big for his body.
Yeah, and it's a little boy collar too.
Yeah, you know what? He could be on Saturday Night Live.
He could.
Clog their pipes over a disputed bill. Our Liz DeSantis joins us after hearing both sides of the story. Liz?
This is in Evanston, Indiana.
Well, Rob, when the plumber didn't receive payment right away after a finished job, they returned the next day to undo their repairs. Now, it's a matter that might normally be settled in court, but this plumber decided to take matters into their own hands.
Oh.
This is great.
What started as a normal day at the restaurant has Thai bistro and bar owners saying they feel extorted.
I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. It's like, okay, just
This guy.
is this really happening?
Operations manager
Good
Jesse
fake
Sanders
grass
says
on the
when their
wall.
grease trap started to overflow, they called Hebron Plumbing Company to fix the block. 3 days later, when it happens again, they called the
Looks
plumber
healthy.
back.
It does.
This time saying it was an emergency.
So this was the first invoice, basically explaining all the work he did. And then this is the second one, basically doing the same exact work on all the lines. And he charged us double.
The bill was $235. The second was $390. And
Still
the owners
nothing.
refused to pay the second one.
It's not about the money, it's just about him just standing behind his work.
Restaurant surveillance cameras show the plumber returning the next morning.
And
This
the
is so
following
great.
day, we received a text message saying that he's on our property. He put a balloon into our grease trap and he's not going to remove it until we paid.
So he reclogged the
Wow.
grease trap
Wow.
with a balloon. He was using technology to ruin their plumbing.
You know, in the era of $1,000 for everything,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem that unreasonable.
No.
That he was charging them under $1,000 for all the work.
Especially 2 trips and one of them classified as an emergency and they get out for under $600. He should
think-
call that a win.
I think it sounds like a win, but you know, I think you get a slippery slope, especially when you do something like this, or you slip on the grease. Yeah. Did they ever settle it, or did the guy with the
Mike,
bad collar?
it's still in the air. Hopefully we'll get an answer before the end of today's program.
Very good, and
You don't call the news station if it's settled.
Nah, don't think so. Absolutely not. Totally.
Can you imagine the text message? I put a balloon in your grease trap.
Yeah. Pay me. Pay me. And to get the balloon out, maybe you just go and get like a hook.
I was thinking just a needle.
I
Yeah,
thought
just
he
top
would have
it.
poured. I thought he would have poured grease back in. You know, that's what I would. That would
Now,
have been really
the grease
bad.
trap, it's just like it takes the grease and puts it in a container that people can take away, right?
No. You put out a grease trap. You put out like cheese on a wooden pedestal and try to catch the grease.
Yeah, you got me.
Hey, how you doing? Estelle!
Mike,
Yeah.
I feel that the world is a less civilized place than it used to be.
I agree with you
And
there.
thank God Idaho is taking measures to combat that. Although this will affect you if you ever go to Idaho, Mike, you're going to have to get rid of your truck nuts.
Sponsor, Republican Senator Brian Lenny from Nampa.
I've also heard an argument about this bill saying, well, it could penalize people who put certain things on their trailer hitches. I don't think we need to go into that, but there's certain
Balls.
things people put on their trucks that look like part of a male anatomy.
Testicles.
So close, Senator Lenny.
I've seen those. They make me chuckle.
Yeah, I think they're funny.
So what's the law they're trying to pass?
Something regarding public nudity, mostly targeted at breasts.
Banning truck testicles.
But it also, in a loose interpretation of the law, Mike, it includes truck nuts.
Truck nuts. And
Truck
they,
nuts.
can't you put them on? I could put them on my SUV, right? I don't. They don't have to be in the trailer hitch of a.
I took mine off the trailer hitch and hung them off my belt buckle. Is that okay?
No, you were impersonating a person with bigger nuts, though. That was illegal.
Yeah, they demanded to see some identification.
You know, what fun you could have, now that I'm thinking about it, if you were just sitting there and going into a restaurant and, put them on the inside with the fly and stuff like, hi,
Well,
I'll have a double quarter pounder with cheese. What are you looking at?
And they'll say, we can't help you. There's a balloon in our grease trap.
Callback time, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
There we go.
If you're out walking, say with your dog, and you see a piece of trash and you pick it up, would you put it in a neighbor's trash can just for convenience? Okay.
Uh-huh.
I think that's okay. I would not do it with bagged up dog poop. I think that's too much.
I no longer, though, I think post-COVID, a lot of people don't pick up strange trash.
Oh, that's when I started.
No, I'll pick up the trash.
I never cared before.
But I won't put it in a stranger's trash can.
You won't?
No.
You like
No, I'll
crumple
take
it up,
it.
put
I'll
it in
carry
your
it home
pocket?
and put it in my trash can.
Oh, you're a better person.
You're a good neighbor. State Farm is like a good neighbor. But
I'll pick it up. I'll put it in their trash, and then I'll pee in their yard. That's me.
Now, that's when you walk the dog in just a T-shirt, right?
And my fake balls. And my fake balls.
To be fair, it's a pretty long T-shirt.
And by the way, every neighbor that stares, I turn around and I go, what?
Take a picture. It'll last longer.
Wow.
There are things you don't want to find in your trash, though, that don't belong to you. Like this fella.
Kind of like, okay, this is disgusting.
Alex Van Dyne spent years working in television news throughout the country, but he never imagined standing in front of the camera talking about...
You kind of know what the urine smells like.
Yes, urine. That's what this story is about. But before you turn away, understand that this could be you, living in a Northeast Portland neighborhood, minding your own business when he shows up in the middle of the night. This all started in September when Van Dyne and his wife noticed their garbage bins had not been collected. 6 bottles of urine in his recycling bin. The garbage hauler wouldn't take it. It's biohazard. Eventually, Van Dyne pulled his garbage bins, hoping that the urine dropper would go away. And he did. Straight to the neighbor's bin, and then another neighbor.
It sort of started to, unravel.
The F.
So he just keeps dropping off bottles of urine.
It? We don't get any closure.
No, there's no closure. Of course
no,
not.
like answer to.
No,
I mean,
it's
so
just
many
a guy.
questions. I need Keith Morrison out there. Come on now,
Mike. I just want to tell you that it's a big deal out there in Portland, and the police have made it their #1 priority.
Why would you be? I mean, he's driving a car,
a Buick.
Is he? You don't know if he's homeless. You don't know if that he's doing that because he doesn't have the proper facilities. I'm lost.
What I
totally
hate
lost.
is that all those bottles were different bottles. I would like to see them more orderly.
And if you have to go outside somewhere, right? And
No, you go.
Fill.
Mike, he's driving. He needs to go in the bottle.
Oh, I'm gonna throw up.
What do they call them when truckers would pee in like a Pepsi bottle and throw it? Then they call them like sunshine bombs.
No, he called it fun.
I think it's truck bomb.
Truck bomb.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're aware. You should be if you pay attention to this show. We're having a little cruise.
Yes, come along.
December 5th, and we'd love you to join us. And cabins are still available for the TMOS Love Boat Cruise. We are really, really, really looking forward to it, ladies and gentlemen. So please go to michaelmarashow.com and check out the TMOS Love Boat Cruise. We'd love to have you join us. We're going to have so much fun. Got a live show, got a cocktail party, got Jeopardy. It's going to be a blast on the, what is it? The Seaside. That's the name of the ship. We are so excited. The MSC Seaside. It is a beautiful ship. That's it. We got to get out of here. For Josh Soroka and Rob Spiewak, Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Bye-bye, folks.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
So what do you want me to do, drop my pants and fire a rocket?
That's the kind of comedy we specialize in. Clean, unfunny humor.
Oh, you should see what it looks like from out here.